as well as a variety of other resources that we're going to share with you. This is the final pre-enrollment meeting before classes begin July 6th. So it's official. It's getting more and more real now, right? So we have a lot of really great updates to share, including our orientation schedule. We also have some financial aid updates. We'll share some other admissions related activities as well and give you kind of the lowdown of what you can expect during your first week of orientation and what you can expect to hear from the student side. We have some real live medical students that are going to be joining here if they're not already on, going to be sharing what their role is going to be in orientation. They're going to be your peer handoff leaders. We got a lot of good stuff. And I'm going to turn it over real quick to Dr. Maida if you want to say hello, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tom. Hi, everybody. 1 week, 1.5 weeks. We're going to see you here. July 6th, you are officially going to be medical students. Are you excited? Slightly excited? Nervous? Excited? All the things. All good emotions. Lots of emotions. We can't wait to see you. We're getting everything ready. I'm just here because I want to hang out with you on Zoom. I'm going to let the dream team and our student affairs people and our new medical student peer handoff leaders kind of walk you through how everything's going to go. But I'm just going to hang out here and enjoy being with you and can't wait to see you on July 6th. We are going to kick things off with our financial aid office. Saul Myerson Knox, take it away.
All right, everybody. I just shared my screen. Is that working? Can I get some thumbs up? Got it. So, again, I want to just extend a welcome from myself and the whole financial aid team. I'm recognizing a lot of names here already from your outreach and communication, and we're so excited to meet in a little under 2 weeks. So, I just wanted to extend that, and then we can go over the fun stuff, which is financial aid first. And I know there's been a lot of outreach already, and if you guys are waiting on a response from my office, I just wanted to apologize if it's taking a little longer. We're a little understaffed right now, but please do continue to reach out. Feel free to reach out again, and I'm expecting to get back to everybody with their financial aid questions by the end of the week. And we're also going to send a follow-up after this meeting as well, going over all the information that I'm going to present here. But I think if there's one takeaway from today's session from the financial aid team, it is to start using your case email. I think everybody is already, but if you're not, please do so. If you email us from your personal Gmail, I'm going to respond to your case email anyways, and it really has to do with legal compliance reasons. So please be in that habit and of using it and also checking it. And if you are not acquainted with SIS yet, SIS, Student Information System, this is a great time to do so. You can follow that link there. This is basically where all of your billing and your financial payments and everything is going to be housed. So you'll see your fall semester tuition bill is in there. If you wanted to add an authorized user for payments, if you want to set up a payment plan or just see what the options are, all of which can be found in SIS. There's also, I believe we spoke on this last time, but everyone is going to be automatically opted into the student health insurance plan. It's about $2,000 per semester, so it's a steep price. If you have your own coverage through your family is the most common option that I've seen. You can certainly apply for a waiver, and I would encourage you to do that, maybe get on that even before you get here to just get that out of the way. And the university is also going to opt everyone into what they call the one-to-one fitness center gym membership. It's right around $150 plus tax per semester, and my understanding is it's as opposed to the gyms that you don't have to pay for. This one has extra classes and nicer facilities. Totally up to you if you want to use it or not, but you can also waive it if you don't want to pay that charge. Though I know some of our current med students like the facilities and tend to go with their friends and stuff. If you are borrowing enough money to cover not just tuition but also living expenses, and if you're intending to get a refund, you want to make sure that you have signed up for direct deposit as well. We can include all the links for that. You can find it here. That'll be in SIS as well, but you want to make sure you sign up for direct deposit. Otherwise, we will be mailing you a check, and that can delay things at best, and all kinds of things can go wrong at worst. So I'd encourage everyone to do direct deposit if they can. if you don't have our contact information, certainly email, certainly call us, medfinancialaid at Case. If you Google Case Western Financial Aid, you will get the main campus office, and they take longer to respond. So try to reach out to us directly here, just Med Financial Aid. You're welcome to call as well. You can find our website here, and feel free to make an appointment. I know I've met with several of you guys already, but if you want to make an appointment on my calendar, you can scan the scan thing under my name, and you can access Jen Toomey, the director of Financial Aid's calendar, through her link as well. So feel free to sign up for an appointment. We can meet on Zoom before you're here, or in person once you are. But always happy to do that, and we enjoy those meetings. And I'll send these links out again when we're done. And other final updates I wanted to make sure we touched on. So everyone should have received an award letter stating, here's what your loans are. The link to the financial aid portal and the instructions to access it should be available. You should be able to get in there, and you can accept all or part of your loan. If you wanted to distribute it unevenly, some students are using all of their loan the first semester and none the second semester, or any scenario within that. You're certainly welcome to. Just let us know, just email, and we can make that change on your behalf. And the deadline was just this week on the 22nd for really any paperwork or last steps. And the reality is that was the deadline if you needed your loans to come in by the estimated deadline of July 6th. If you don't need your loans to come in by then, if you weren't planning on using aid to pay for living expenses, we have until September 4th. That's when actual fall tuition is due, so there is time. But if you need your money sooner, make sure, if you haven't done that paperwork, make sure you do so. The two main steps are the master promissory note and the entrance counseling. Those are linked in your portal. That'll take you back to the FSA, Federal Student Aid website, where you did your FAFSA, and neither of those steps should take very long, but they are required in order for your aid to disperse. And I know there's lots and lots of questions from all of us on how private loans are going to work. The information that I'm hearing from our loans processing team is that it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks, about a month, for a private loan to come in to be certified. Once you've applied to the loan and accepted it, it gets sent to us, and it takes some time for another office to certify and sort of accept and process those funds. So if you're using that loan to cover tuition on September 4th, there is time. I would encourage you to finalize your decisions, within the next couple of weeks. But just know that there will be, about a 4-week delay for that money to actually come in. We do have some more on this topic in Acceptance Central, which we can do a very quick overview. I know you guys all have access to Acceptance Central down here under private and federal loan resources. If you are still investigating private loans and are starting that process now, and if you haven't watched our webinar, we had an expert from Sally May discuss that process, so I'd encourage you to check that out. That's on here. I've got some other important considerations, things you might want to ask yourself and ask your future lender if you're taking a private loan. So use these resources here. Case has a series of preferred lenders. You can access that through Elm Select. That will give you, I think there's about 10 lenders that we prefer. Doesn't mean you have to take a loan through them, but it's a way to start the process. So if you are still researching private loans and you're not sure what you're going to do, I think this could be a really good place to compare rates and see some of the different options. And then finally, briefly, I wanted to alert you all to a sort of federal loan borrowing scenario that we posted on here. This is to give you guys an idea of what it might be like if you were to borrow just the federal loan and what repayment's going to look like. And I'll do just a quick walkthrough, and then I encourage you guys to dig into this a little more and reach out with questions. We can't really create a one-size-fits-all snapshot for private loans because there's so many different ones out there and different stipulations. But if you were to borrow the full amount of the federal direct loan, everyone is eligible for basically $50,000. Here's what borrowing would look like if you took that full loan, $50,000 each year for 4 years. at the time of graduation in 2030. If in this scenario we just ran it as a single person in a household size of one, you're graduating in 2030, you would have borrowed $50,000. This scenario includes the interest rate is right around 8%. Could be a little higher, could be a little lower each year, but that I think is a fair estimate. So you would have borrowed 200,000, and then I ran a scenario in which we used kind of average figures. Typical residency is right around 3 or 4 years. I put in 4 for the sake of this. Maybe you were making about 70,000 during residency, and then according to the double AMC, 300,000 afterwards post residency seems to be an average salary. Lots of reasons why it could be higher or lower, but for the sake of this demonstration, that's what we put in. And then the big question for me is what's repayment going to look like after graduation, and unless things can change, you should have access to 2 different plans. One of which is the brand new plan that goes into effect in a week from now. It's the RAP, Repayment Assistant Plan. Basically, it would take about 14 years. You'd be paying, 366,000 back, and it's an income-based plan. That's the advantage here. While you're in residency, not making a lot of money, payments would be lower in the 400 range, and going up exponentially as your salary goes up. Realistically, in your first year of residency, repayment would be even lower, maybe as low as $10 or $20 that first year, but around 400. And then after residency, you would, if you did 4 years, you'd owe about this 200K, and then your payments would be in that 2,000 to 3,000 range per month after residency. The good thing about this plan as well is some of the interest is subsidized by the government, and you could conceivably be eligible for public service loan forgiveness in 10 years. If you work for a qualifying employer and make your income-based payments for 10 years, you could have almost $116,000 forgiven. So I just wanted you guys to kind of keep that in mind as you're trying to navigate the different borrowing scenarios. The other plan is much simpler, a tiered standard plan. Even payments, 25 years. Each payment would be in this option, yes, $1,682. So this is a good plan if you want to know exactly what your payment's going to be. It has nothing to do with whether your income goes up or down. You pay a lot more in the long run, closer to $500,000, and significantly more in interest. But this could be a good plan if you want to just have a simple payment with no variables. You know what it's going to be. And then maybe after residency, you wanted to aggressively pay down your loan and not go for forgiveness, but to get ahead of it. This is a plan that's going to make a lot of sense for some students. So check that out. I know we got a lot to go over, so if you have questions, feel free to email us. You can message me here during this meeting if you want, but feel free to just email us as well, and we'll certainly be getting back to you. That's everything I wanted to go over. I'll let Tom take over from here.
Thank you so much, Saul. You can go ahead and unshare, and then I'll reshare my screen next if you want to go ahead and unshare. And thank you for that good information. That was very informative. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. We're going to share some admissions updates now. All right. Now, some of you may have taken care of a lot of this information already, but this will give you we did want to give you a few reminders as well. So the first big reminder that we want to share is quick thumbs up. Can everybody see my screen? Yes, thank you. So you're going to want to schedule a Zoom appointment with one of our UTech reps. This is all in the computing handbook for all the instructions on Accepted Central. That's the one-stop shop site with all this information. So all the computing resources are all on Accepted Central. And you'll have to actually, via the handbook, you'll have to log into Elantra, make sure you follow all the steps. And if you have questions, you can reach out to HEC support, okay? Partners and parents registration. There is an event for partners and parents for White Coat. Have your partners and parents register by July 6th, okay? That's the Monday you start, first day of med school. Go register online, super easy. You can have one person register 3 of your, partners, parents, whoever's coming to the event, okay?
And Tom,
White Coat is going to be live streamed, all right?
Tom, to clarify, that's
Yes.
that's the parents and partners is the event. that precedes white coat that your family and friends are all invited to as you're getting ready and lining up and doing your thing. So they'll be all
Correct.
parents and partners, and you'll be getting ready for white coat. So I would encourage your friends and family to go. I think it's kind of cool. They'll get to
Yeah,
meet a lot of people who are going to be taking care of you as med students.
absolutely. No, thank you for that, Dr. Maida. It occurs before the white coat ceremony as well. So yeah, thank you for that. Um, There's a lot of information as well on Accepted Central about anatomy supplies, physical diagnosis supplies. We covered all of that already. You won't need really the physical diagnosis supplies until the month of August, so that can wait till you arrive, but continue to check out Accepted Central for all of those details. We also have an anatomy survey, a transportation survey, and a learning survey, all on Accepted Central. If you could please fill those out as soon as you can, if you haven't already. The learning specialist survey is for our student affairs team, our learning specialist team. And then our anatomy survey is all about your experience with cadavers. And we also have a transportation survey. When you enroll after orientation, you'll have in block one, once you matriculate, they'll have some field experiences for you around the Cleveland area. And many of those require carpooling driving. So it's good to see what kind of access you have to transportation during that first 5 weeks of medical school in block one. So please fill out all of those things as soon as possible. And also, please send in your final transcripts too. And parking is open as well. You can now purchase a parking pass if you haven't already for lots 14 or lots 82. One of those two lots, either one, they will also give you access to the JJ parking garage after 5 p.m. during the week and on weekends. There is not a lot of street parking around the health education campus. I would say it's not plentiful. So, parking pass is nice because you'll get a place to park during the day and you'll be able to park perhaps in the JJ garage if you would like to at 5 p.m. after during the week and also on the weekends. Okay?
Tom, Molly wanted to say something.
Yeah. Oh, please, Molly.
Hi, everyone. Just a quick word about parking and after hours parking in the JJ garage. It is not automatically given. There's a process. You have to have a CWRU parking pass before you can get access to the after hours JJ parking garage. So there is more information to come on that. I just want to make sure you
Oh,
understand
thank
that
you, Molly.
one pass doesn't give you access to both. There's a separate second step to get the after hours pass.
Molly, is it the same economic outlay, but just a multi-step process?
It's a second step where you have to get a second card.
So you pay once, but it's a second step to get into the JJ.
Correct.
So you want to do that second step so you don't miss out. You're going to pay.
Thank you.
You're going to get JJ access. You just have to go through the other steps to get the JJ access.
Yes.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Dr. Maida. Thanks for that clarification. The last thing is the matriculated student questionnaire. I think a lot of you have done this already, or some of you have done this already. Please complete.
37% of you have done this, which
Yes.
is not
But so please complete the matriculated student questionnaire. It's really helpful information. It talks about all of your experience applying to medical school, your experience in the application process. Please fill that out. All the details are on Accepted Central. And this is a reminder to please complete this ideally by July 6th or earlier before you start classes. All right. And before the first day of medical school.
As you know, Case Western Reserve School of Medicine is a non-competitive environment, but we want 100%. So let's win and beat the national average. So please fill out the matriculating student questionnaire.
I wasn't going to say that, Judgment, but thank you for saying it for me. I appreciate it. All right. All right. A couple of details about transcripts. Irene Foster, our admissions and financial aid coordinator, is going to say a few words regarding this slide all about transcripts because she processes all of our entering student transcripts. So when you send your transcripts and they go to our office, they come to Irene and she's going to share some reminders about transcripts and all of that. And all these details are on Accepted Central too. So Irene, take it away.
Thanks, Tom. I'm going to share a few important reminders about official transcripts. Please make sure you submit your official transcripts from all of your institutions that you've attended. The deadline to submit these transcripts are July 6th, which is the first day of class. One important thing to note is that AMCAS does not send your transcripts to our office. It is your responsibility to ensure that all required transcripts are sent directly to us. If we discover that we're missing a transcript, our office will reach out to you, but we encourage you to verify that everything has been submitted before the deadline. Transcripts should be sent to the med admissions office only, not case's main campus or the graduate office. Electronic transcripts can be sent to our case med admissions email. If your institution only mails transcripts, they should be sent to the address that we have listed on the slide. If you anticipate any delays and are unable to submit your transcripts by July 6th, please contact our office as soon as possible so that we can work with you. Also, you can find all of this information on Accepted Central under the University Program / MSTP Only tab, where you'll see the transcript section. Thanks to everybody who's already submitted your transcripts. We really appreciate the help in completing this requirement. I know I truly appreciate it. And finally, if you have any questions after today's session, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or reach out to the Case Med email. We're truly happy to help. Those are all of my reminders, and I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Tom.
I just
Thank you. Thank you.
please get your transcripts in. Please don't make our
Yes.
reach out to you. We have a
Please.
deadline for a reason. It's July 6th. Please just get them in. Get it off your plates. You don't have to think about it ever again. It is part of your matriculation requirements to get those transcripts in. So July 6th is the deadline. Thanks in advance for getting that done.
And thank you to everyone also. Thank you, Irene. And thank you to everyone who's already done that as well. We've received a lot of transcripts already. So thank you. Thank you. If you don't send your transcripts, you'll be hearing from Irene or I. So just make sure you send them in by July 6th again. All right. I am now going to turn it over to our student affairs team. So we have Molly Simmons, we have Dawn Reed, and we also have some medical students here. So I'm going to go ahead and advance the slide to first day of class, Monday, July 6th, week and a half away. Molly, and take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. Actually, can you advance 2 slides, please?
2 slides. You got it. So,
And then we'll come back to this. I promise.
all right.
1 more. There you go. Okay.
There we go.
Here's our mugshots, everybody. Hi there. My name is Molly Simmons. I am the Director of Student Affairs. Joining me here today is Dawn Reed, my trusty right-hand lady. She's the Assistant Director of Student Affairs. Our office is the team. So the dream team gets you in and makes sure that you are just the best, absolute fabulous student and brings you to our curriculum. And it's our office's job to make sure we get you across all of the curriculum and to the finish line at graduation. So we're here to support you and make sure that you are, doing the best that you absolutely can. A little bit about me. I am a Cleveland native, and I've worked in this office for, I think, 14 or 15 years now. I've lost track. And Dawn, do you want to say a quick hello?
Hi, everyone. I am slightly newer to student affairs, about little over 2 years, but I've been with the university 18 years. And prior to that, I was in the curriculum office. So I'm bringing a lot of expertise down to student affairs from curriculum as well. I'm also a Cleveland native. So if you need anything, feel free to stop by.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dawn. Okay, you can go back to that first, that slide you started with. Back 2 slides now. Perfect. Okay. First day of school. Everybody wants to know, what do I do on the first day of school? You come here to the health education campus, arrive at 7:30 a.m., not p.m., a.m. Make sure you set your alarm clock. We'll have breakfast available for you in our South Winter Garden, and we'll have a packet of information for you to pick up. So make sure you come to the South Winter Garden. If you come in from the west entrance or the east entrance, doesn't matter. We'll make sure you get to the South Winter Garden. Make sure you pick up that packet because that's how we know you're here. And if you don't come, we're going to be making phone calls. So please don't be that person. Make sure you get something to eat in your belly. We'll have plenty of coffee, and then we'll proceed into the tiered lecture hall for the first session of the day. Next slide. A lot of students, what should I ask? What should I bring? What should I wear? Okay. You should wear something that is comfortable for you, but if you notice there's a couple of photos here, you're going to take a roster photo that looks a lot like this. And it could be a shirt and tie for or it could be a blouse or some sort of nice top, and it's about head and shoulders. So if you want to wear business on the top and party on the bottom, that's fine with me. But you're going to have this roster photo that will follow you all 4 years or more years of your education. So this is one time that you want to make sure that you're looking your best. We do recommend that you dress in layers when you come to the HEC. It is overly air conditioned in this building. And I always have like a light jacket in my office to wear because I'm always cold. But I do encourage you to dress comfortably, dress in layers, and bring some things with you. Some pen and paper would be helpful. If you have a tablet or other device like that, you can bring that with you. I wouldn't bring a lot of stuff with you. I would bring a bottle of water, a refillable bottle of water. That would be a really key thing to have. Dawn, are there any other items that you can think of?
If you're an individual who gets hungry every so often, possibly think about putting some snacks in a bag for you. It is a long week, so snacks are always good to have on hand.
Absolutely. Yes, a lot of us also have snacks in our office. So if you're absolutely starving, come by and see us. We almost always have snacks to share. Okay, next slide, please.
I think Tom was raising his hand. Or were you like just cheering for
Oh, no,
snacks?
I was just saying I'm that person who gets hungry and has snacks too. Sorry, proceed on.
I actually got some of that feedback last year is that we should have said that to the students ahead of time. So I had that on my notes to recycle
Okay,
that information.
next slide, please. Among the folks that you will meet during orientation are peer handoff leaders. And these are four M2 students who will be helping shepherd you through orientation week, sharing a lot of their wisdom with you and giving you lots of pearls and nuggets and kind of getting you acclimated to the culture and the curriculum here at the School of Medicine. So it looks like at least three of them have their cameras turned on. I'm not sure if Melina is here. So why don't we go ahead and introduce Karina Fry.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina. I am so excited to be one of your peer handoff leaders. A little bit about me is that I'm actually a Florida native, so this was my very first winter ever. So if anyone has any questions about that, I'm happy to attest to my first experience. Unfortunately, it was a very brutal winter this year, so that was fun. But also went to Florida State University, and yeah, I'm very excited to kind of give my mentorship to you. I love giving advice to new students, and I know it was really hard for me to get acclimated to a new state. So this was one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a mentor for you guys. So I'm really excited for this upcoming week. Wanted to mention that from me personally, this is a plug to check your emails every day, especially coming leading into orientation week. I will be sending an email probably Monday about some more tips and tricks to get acclimated to campus and some like first day of orientation peer handoff advice. So be on the lookout for that.
Thank you, Karina. Next up, let's go with Noah.
Hi everyone, I'm Noah. I'm originally from Northern California, but lived in Louisiana for a while. I went to college in New Hampshire, so I'm used to the winter. So this was not, it wasn't too brutal for me. But I did have to get used to, I think the food was a little different from what I'm used to in Louisiana. So I think kind of adjusting to the Midwest food, but also, being really excited to try new things. But very happy to be a pure handoff leader. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll put our emails in the chat. Looking forward to welcoming you guys to Case and to Cleveland.
Thank you, Noah. Let's go with Ashish next.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashish. I've moved around a bit too. I'm originally from Missouri, but I live now in Florida and I went to school in Maryland. So I've been all over, but Cleveland has been one of my favorites of everywhere I've been so far. So really excited to spend orientation week with you guys. Like Karina and Noah said, we're here for you. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. I can drop our emails in the chat below, but really looking forward to a fun orientation week. And I want to quickly introduce Melina as well, who's one of our co-peer handoff leaders. She's from Michigan and a big Blue fan. So if you see her and you're from Michigan, please mention that to her. She's going to love that. But we're really excited to spend some time with y'all.
All right. Thank you, peer handoff team. We appreciate you being here and look forward to having a fun week with you. Next slide, please. Okay, so the number one question we get from students is what's on the schedule? So here is a rough overview of what's on the schedule, to be followed by a more detailed emailed schedule that will be coming to you and posted on Accepted Central as soon as we're done with this meeting here. So day one, as I mentioned before, breakfast is at 7:30, registration, make sure you pick up your packet, be sure to check in, do not be late. Let me say that again, do not be late. You can be early, that's okay, we don't mind that, but don't be late. Starting off the day will be our Dean's Welcome. You'll hear from Dean Gerson, lots of our senior leadership, and you'll be sorted into your academic society. So students in the university program have an academic advisor, also known as a society dean, who shepherds you through your career here throughout your 4 or more years in medical school. We'll do some icebreakers with peer handoff, get to know some of your classmates, have a little bit of fun, find some important things in the building, and then we will, at the midpoint of the day, we'll have lunch with your dean, get to know your society dean a little bit better, and some of your classmates in your society. In the afternoon, there are several things that folks will need to do, including getting your photo taken. There are some required sessions that you'll get more information about via email, and some other like housekeeping types of things like picking up your ID badge and finding your locker and etc. There's a list, I'll promise. Next slide, please. All right, day two, getting into the meat of the curriculum. We start off with peer handoff, giving us kind of a 50,000-foot view and then breaking it down into what happens during IQ, which I think you've learned a little bit about from admissions and doing second looks and things. So you'll get to do your first IQ session with an IQ facilitator in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'll do more admissions, or sorry, more curriculum activities, learning about Block 8 and who the learning specialist team is and about the library and various things about studying. We'll finish up that day with an activity with peer handoff called Connection Carousel. So think of like speed meeting people. I'm not going to call it dating because that would get me in trouble probably, but it's speed meeting people, and it's super fun, fun way to meet people quickly. Next slide, please. All right, day three, talking a lot about the culture that we cultivate here at the School of Medicine. Really important things that we like to talk about are teamwork, well-being, etc. We're going to spend a lot of time in the morning talking about that and doing a team-based learning activity. In the afternoon, there is a wonderful session that's being kind of co-created with several of our faculty and leadership folks, talking about your values and well-being, thinking about career development, social media use, and finishing the day up by talking about artificial intelligence, which is honestly kind of a riveting talk that I've seen before. That evening is an optional activity, but we really recommend you come. It's super duper fun. Think about like your school field day, but kind of more amped up because we're medical students school and we're all very competitive. The society deans are all very excited. There's an actual trophy that they get to win at the end of the activity. So please come and support your society. Next slide, please. Day four. Okay, day four is a lot about, it's actually a second session of IQ. So IQ is always 3 times a week, but for orientation, we're just easing you in, doing it 2 times. So there's a second IQ session Thursday morning, and then you'll hear from some university partners, including Health and Counseling Service, And then in the afternoon, discussion about safety and security and student policies. That evening, there's an optional social activity at Edgewater Beach. They will have, I believe, pizza, and the winner, there's going to be a scavenger hunt. I buried the lead on that one. There's going to be a scavenger hunt, and the winner of the scavenger hunt is announced at the beach party. Next slide, please. Okay, day 5, you're almost there. Day 5 is our Oath of Professionalism workshop, and professional attire is required for Friday. So get out your, nice clothes. We'll talk about what kind of clothes to wear, but shirt, tie, blouse, sweater, skirt, whatever floats your boat. But make sure your professional attire is ready for Friday. That takes up the majority of the day, morning and part of the early afternoon. And then the mid-afternoon, we have what's called our stethoscope ceremony, where students are gifted their first professional stethoscope from the school. We have some very generous donors who have donated those to our students. Next slide, please. Okay, white coat ceremony. By a show of hands or raise of icon thingy, show who has heard of the white coat ceremony? Who has heard before about the white coat ceremony? Oh, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fabulous. A lot of people. Okay, you can put your hands down. The students arrive at 9 a.m. at Severance Music Center. Your families should go to Tinkham-Veal. If they come in the door, we'll say, "We're so glad you're here. Please go next door." The ceremony starts at 11 a.m. and will be live streamed. Weather permitting, there will be a photograph with your class on the front steps, and then a reception in the Severance Music Center on all 3 floors of Severance Music Center after the activity. And with that, you have completed week 1, well, week 0 of medical school. You have completed all of orientation. Okay, next slide. Any questions? You can either put them in the chat, raise your hand, shout them out, whatever floats your boat.
Any questions about admissions activity, admissions updates, financial aid? We all are of service here right now before July 6th coming up.
We're really, really excited for you to be here.
Truly. We
Is
have a
casual
question.
clothing okay Tuesday, Thursday of orientation week, or professional attire every day? Casual clothing is fine. We'll talk a little bit about what's appropriate for the classroom versus the clinical spaces in the, let's see, that's Wednesday. But the peer handoff folks can also answer this for you as well. I wouldn't go super casual. I would keep it maybe business casual, if that would be okay. If you have questions about orientation in particular, you can email som-orientation@case.edu, and I'll put that here in the chat too.
Do you want to drop that in the chat, Molly? Thanks. Awesome.
Those both go to Dawn and myself, and one of us will respond to you. Other questions? Should nails be short and bare for orientation? That's a great question. I personally do not care what your nails look like at orientation. If you have fabulous nails, then go ahead and rock that. You may have issues down the road with nails at various hospitals who have varying policies around that. But for orientation, you can be as nail fabulous as you want. Other questions?
Okay. Before we close out our meeting today, I want to share our screen, my screen here real quick, and just share again Accepted Central and just reiterate kind of some of the things we talked about. This is information on the white coat ceremony. This is information on partners and parents, registering for that. There's information here on parking, all the information that we've talked about, transcripts, you name it. It is all on Accepted Central. This meeting is going to be recorded and placed on Accepted Central, along with the slideshow, the Google slideshow that we presented to you just now, as well as the university program orientation schedule. All right. So this is kind of the one-stop shop place, site for information. If you have questions, check out this site. It's all here. We, of course, are here anytime, and you can reach out to any one of us anytime you'd like. There's a lot of really good information there as well that kind of will prepare you for everything that you need. Okay. So, a lot of you have completed many of your items already. We are still missing some items. I mentioned that transportation survey, the learning specialist survey, as well as the anatomy survey. We're still waiting on some of those. So please, please fill those informations out. Also on Accepted Central, there's that checklist. I think you've all seen the checklist already many times. I know we've emailed out the checklist, etc. That is on Accepted Central. That breaks down everything kind of in bullet points for you on one page. That makes it kind of easier to digest. So please use this as a resource and make sure you get all these items done before July 6th if you haven't already. Okay. Thank you for everyone that submitted your background checks. All clear, everybody. Yeehaw. So that's done. Thank you, everyone who submitted the white coat form. We got all those too. I think almost everybody has now submitted their photo for their student ID. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone that requested your t-shirt sizes. I know I think everybody for most part did that. So I know like between Dawn, myself, Molly, others, yeah,
I mean, they were ordered, so
yeah,
if you
right.
didn't, you might get left with what size is left.
All right.
So,
But
but
there
I
you
think we
go.
had a really good rate back.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. And so many of you have sent your transcripts already. And I know we've been getting some questions about transcripts. Please continue to direct those to our team as well, and Irene or I will definitely answer those. All right. Looks like we have no more other questions in the chat. All right, those were all answered. Well, I think if that's all, what do you think, Molly, Dawn, Dr. Maida, Irene, Saul? We'll see you in July, right?
See you
Absolutely.
in 1 week and a half.
Everybody enjoy their 4th of July celebration. It's a big one, so hopefully you have spent time to spend with loved ones, friends, family, and we will
Or with your classmates because they'll be in
or
town.
with your classmates because you're probably a good chance you'll probably be here.
Yep.
But nonetheless, we'll look forward to seeing you that Monday after the holiday. All right.
See you soon.
See you
Okay.
soon.
Bye.
Yay!
Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you for logging in today.